Heaven gave him the hardest job that ever existed, and he carried it out perfectly every single time. He followed every single command without ever questioning once, and that's exactly why they exiled him. This is the story of the angel who became too loyal for his own good and paid the ultimate price. His name literally translates to poison of God or severity of God, which tells you everything you need. Not because he rebelled against heaven, but because someone had to deliver the difficult judgments. While other angels spent their time protecting souls and healing wounds, he was assigned to accuse. While they guided people towards safety and light, he had to mark the ones who had failed the test. He wasn't cruel by nature, he was just brutally honest about everything, and that made it worse. Think about it for a moment. Every single system needs someone willing to handle the dirty work. Someone has to say what everyone else is thinking, but refuses to actually speak out loud about it. That became his entire purpose, and he showed up in ancient texts wherever things got uncomfortable. Wherever writers had to explain how divine punishment actually works behind the heavenly curtain. And here's the thing that sets him apart. He was never gentle or kind about his assignments at all. His very presence in any situation meant something had already gone terribly wrong and couldn't be fixed. Consequences were coming fast, and there was absolutely no possible way out of what was about to happen. He didn't sneak into this role on his own or take it upon himself. He was officially sent from above. He was appointed with complete authority directly from the highest source, given full permission to act. Every single accusation that he made during his service was officially sanctioned from the very top. Every judgment he delivered had been authorized, which means he was following orders the entire time. He became the voice that spoke what heaven itself wouldn't say directly to the people down below them. The one who kept holiness looking pure and clean by pushing all the heavy, uncomfortable work elsewhere. But here's where the story gets really dark. Over time, that work started leaving its mark on him deeply. He got too close to suffering and pain, too close to judgment, too close to what heaven wanted hidden. And eventually he ended up standing completely apart, no longer welcome among those untouched by it. The book of Job shows exactly how this pattern played out in one of the most famous biblical stories. The scene opens up in heaven among all the angels gathered together for an important divine meeting. God points directly to Job and declares him blameless, a perfect man who fears God and does right. And then the accuser steps forward and asks just one simple question that changes everything forever. Does Job truly fear God for nothing? Or does he only serve because he's been blessed and protected? That single question challenged everything, and because of it, a test was authorized from the very top. Job's divine protection was completely withdrawn, and his wealth collapsed in a single devastating day. His children were taken from him, his health was destroyed, and his closest friends turned against him. All of this happened because one voice removed the comfort of assumption that had protected him before. Once the charge was spoken out loud, the silence broke completely, and the sentence had somewhere to go. The moment he speaks, in any situation, innocence is no longer assumed, and guilt becomes clearly traceable. The room transforms into a courtroom instantly, and everything that was once soft begins to harden up. He's feared because he removes all ambiguity, and in religious life, ambiguity is often our only comfort. As long as our faults remain unnamed, they can be softened or excused or explained away by circumstances. But once the charge is spoken clearly, once it becomes exact and specific, that comfort disappears fast. His authority lies completely in truth, stated clearly, without any embellishment or exaggeration needed. He doesn't need to add drama or make things worse. The plain facts are devastating enough already. It's his complete accuracy that makes him terrifying to anyone who has something to hide at all. In some traditions, he appears at the moment of passing as the one who reads the complete record aloud. The voice that speaks when nothing else can be said anymore, when all defenses have completely crumbled. In every life, there are things we desperately hope stay hidden, even from heaven's all-seeing gaze itself. He's the one who finds them and drags them into the light, where they can no longer be denied or ignored. But here's what truly makes him different from every other angel. His presence is felt in his stillness. He just stands there completely quiet, watchful and unmoving, like a boundary that cannot be crossed. And you realize very quickly that everything stops where he begins. There's no way to go around him. His shadow becomes the gap between where you currently are and where you desperately want to be instead. In the old stories, angels were given specific parts of the world to look after and protect from harm. Some brought life and growth, some offered help and guidance, but he was placed exactly where mercy ends. There's a famous story about Abraham on his way to offer his son, a heavy and silent journey of faith. During that difficult journey, this angel showed up, but he didn't argue or try to stop Abraham directly. Instead, he became a deep, rushing river in the middle of the path, testing what the mission was worth. He was there to see if Abraham would really go through with it, if the commitment was truly that strong. Abraham pushed through the water, but the pattern was set for everyone who came after him in that moment. Whenever someone is about to make a permanent choice, he shows up as the final obstacle they must pass. Not to fight you or stop you with force, but to see if you're absolutely sure about what you're doing. Because once you pass him and cross that line, there's no going back to the way things were before then. In deeper mystical writings, he's described as the last figure you see before everything gives way. When he enters the picture, the script is nearly finished. The sentence has already been written out. He's simply the one who reads that final word out loud, so everyone can hear what was already decided. You can see this pattern during history's most decisive moments, when everything hangs in perfect balance. Times when people are teetering between getting a second chance or facing total collapse with no recovery. In the story of Exodus, during the final event in Egypt, ancient texts mention a destroyer sent by heaven. The mark on the doorpost was a boundary line, a warning to that specific shadow saying, "Do not enter here." While the original text leaves this figure unnamed, later traditions identify that destroyer as him. They see him as the one who must be held back because his entry means the line has already been crossed. He appears when judgment is no longer just a threat hanging over people. It has become absolute reality. He arrives at the exact moment when it's too late for any change, when the window of mercy has closed. The soul at its final breath, the kingdom at the brink of ruin, the person who crossed one line too many. And that's what makes his arrival so haunting to witness. It's the timing that changes everything forever. His name works like a siren, quiet but absolutely final, saying the test is over and the window collapsed. What follows now is pure consequence. Even people who believe in miracles know there's a point beyond. Now here's where the story gets really messed up. This angel had the most perfect loyalty ever recorded. He was given the hardest assignments that no one else wanted and fulfilled them with absolute precision. Every charge he spoke, every gate he guarded, all done under authority, yet he remains permanently outside. Because obedience, when taken to its furthest edge, becomes something that no one wants to look at anymore. He stayed true to heaven, and heaven turned from him anyway, and he's still waiting to be called back home.